In this video I will run from Kirkaldy to Elie, which I think is about 18 miles and will be along the beautiful Fife coastal path. Let's see how it goes. My wife dropped me off at Ravens Creek Park on the edge of Kirkaldy. The park seemed nice and there was lots of folk out enjoying the good weather. I followed the signs that said Fife coastal path, which led me to the historic port of Daart. I liked the tunnel to get there. For centuries, Daart was a bustling and prosperous port with significant trade links with countries like Holland. The port exported salt, which was produced in pans along the shore. This thriving trade earned it the nickname Little Holland. The name Daart means heritage, which supposedly relates to a hermit who lived in a cave. You will see some caves later in the video. That's the first mile done. That was very pleasant through Ravens Creek Park, which I think is probably where Ravens Creek mining colliery was. I need to check that though. And then on to Daart, which is a very old port, and again very scenic. And now I think I can see right around the coast to where I'm heading. It's a steep climb out of Daart, and then we come into, I think it's called Francis Colliery, which used to be an old coal mine. It's 9:30 in the morning, but it's actually quite warm. The sun's out, not much wind, and it's about 14 degrees, so I've changed out my jacket. I think that's almost 3 miles, and I've made it to Weems Bay. Correction, Weems Bay is on the west coast of Scotland. This is East Weems. I've just passed a shop that was called the Scottish Paranormal Investigators, who look for signs of the afterlife. Well, it doesn't mean I need a third correction, because I've also now learned it's not East Weems, it's West Weems. If you are doing this route, remember to check the tide times before you start, because if it is high tide, there's some options for avoiding the worst of the sea. I've done 5 miles now. I'm in West Weems, and there was some interesting flower planting going on. See if you can spot the minions. The Weems Cave is home to the largest collection of pictish carvings found anywhere. Supposedly, there's symbols, animal figures, and a depiction of an early medieval boat. Although I didn't see any of that because it's all gated off and I couldn't see very far. Rubbish! There's a sign that said to Castle Green and Jonathan's Cave. I would say it's not worth the effort coming down here. Oh, maybe that's not Jonathan's Cave because there's a sign there that says this way. So maybe it's not as rubbish as I first thought. This is not the official Fife coastal path, so I'm hoping it joins back up at some point. That one's locked. Let's have a look and see if there's anything around here. And it's locked as well. Shouldn't really be called Jonathan's Cave, it should be called Jonathan's Gate. There isn't a marked path down here. I want to take a chance and try heading along the front of the beach. It does look like it should connect up, or let's hope so. I spotted someone coming towards me, so Either they got stuck and are coming back, or this is the correct way. That's 6.3 miles, and I think I've now reached the edge of Buckhaven, and it's taken me 90 minutes. It's a bit slow, but it's a nice day. I was distracted by the dinosaurs. I don't see any signs for the Fife Coastal Path, so I'm just checking what's the best way. And it looks like I have to go not towards the giant wind turbine, but back up onto the main street and then run through Methal. So as you see, I'm slightly off track there. I'll find that road that goes up the hill. That's better. There's a sign. Quite an interesting name of a road. A terrible Sean Connery film. I'm now in Methal, which was once voted Scotland's ugliest town, which at the moment I'm not seeing anything to dissuade me of that opinion, but maybe there's some nice bits to it. But I think that's one of the good things about the Fife Coastal Path, is that you do get variety. If it was all beautiful beaches, it would get pretty boring. I've reached the bridge over the River Leven, which marks the end of Methal, and then into Leven itself. Should just be a run along the promenade and then back on some beaches. Just left Leven. That's 11 miles in about 2 hours 20 minutes, and I can see where I'm heading to, which is along the beach and follow the coast all the way around to the sort of point. Then Elie's the other side of that point. It's probably about another 8 miles to go, I think. Oh, just left Lower Largo. That's 13.1 miles done, and I think about 10k to go. At the end of Lower Largo there was a brand new sauna that had been built, and it was a really cool, interesting looking building, so I was trying to get a photograph of it, but to do so I had to sort of lean over a bush and sort of take my camera and look down onto the sauna. But just as I was about to take a picture, a half naked woman came out of the sauna, and it looked like I was a weirdo in the bush taking a photo. Thankfully she didn't see me, and I didn't take the photo, but I did run away very quickly. I've made it to the end of the beach, which was a bit of a slog because the sand was quite soft. My feet were sinking into it with every step. So nice to run a bit of hard surface for a little bit, although I do have a hill coming up. Last hill to do over the cliffs to Elie. This is where the Elie chain walk is, but it's high tide just now, so you can only go up and over the top. highest point reached of today. I can see the finish, which is a house down there, and I can see where I start, which is right in the distance, far around the corner. You can see the wind turbine, look left of that, and around there, and then all around the coast. I think this is one of my favourite views in Scotland. It's the view of Elie from the cliffs. You see the town, you see the golf course, and on a nice day it's absolutely stunning. Made it all the way from Kirkaldy to Elie Beach, which was 18.3 miles, and I did it in 4 hours. You could probably do it quicker than me if you didn't take so many detours and didn't film it. But yeah, it was a good route, enjoyed it. I think there's lots of variety there. Bit of beach running, bit of concrete, bit of trail, bit of rocks, bit of sand, and one wee hill at the end. And lots of great views, so give it a go.